As we look at the course here for the mixed relay, the first leg is just 1,300 metres, then two 1,500-metre legs, and then a 1,600-metre leg. So for me, your smart money is you put your 800, 1,500 type female on your first leg, and you need a male on your last leg. Perhaps one with slightly better endurance should take that final leg, and then it doesn't really matter in between that. Although, like Tim said, we have seen the majority of the teams choose to go woman-man, woman-man. Apart from Great Britain and Northern Ireland, they're going woman, woman, man, man. So the Brits could have quite a deficit as we enter that third leg. And I think it's the Ukrainians have actually put a man on that short first lap, which I don't think is the correct tactical thing here. The tactics in this European Cross-Country Championships mixed relay have been fascinating as they've developed over the last few years that we've had this event. You'll even see tactics going on in the changeover zone. So again, so you can eke out the amount of time that your male runners, if you like, are running, because they're going to run faster. You want them to be running as a higher proportion of this mixed relay as possible. And there are the Bulgarians on the inside of the course. So the Danish team, Vid will lead off. And there are the Germans giving us a nice pose on the start line. I'll be led off by Verena Meisel. Strong team here from the Irish. And Maya will go. Laura Nicholson, 1,500-metre champion. And great to see Delia Schrabas back at the European Cross Country Championship. She's hiding there at the back, but a previous under-20 medalist on the track and on the cross country. There's the Ukrainians. They'll be led off by Dolanchuk. And the Turks, host nations last time round, going to be led off in this mixed relay by Alas. As the Belgians, one individual winner so far with Wilhelm Renders. Fun here in this mixed relay. As the Poles, Kulchawa will be their lead-off runner. Spaniards have had every single medal here, and the firepower they've brought. Fifth place finisher from the World Championships. And Mohamed Atawi will be their anchor leg runner. They got the world indoor champion Mariano Garcia as well as the Dutch squad. And the home team, the Portuguese athletes, this could be their best shot at gold with Nada and Alphonse going in their quartet. And the Brits, a strong history here in this event. I mentioned that they've gone to go woman, they've opted to go woman, woman, man, man. That's what we're being told. We'll have to see if that plays out. And the bronze medalists last time round. France took the silver. It was actually a three-way photo finish between the Brits and the French. And these guys, the Italians, they know how to win this title. Sabatini anchored them into run in front of a home crowd. And it was Aresi who brought home the gold medal in Antalya. And they've also got Marta Zanoni, who was in that squad in Antalya and had a fantastic 2025, the Italian woman. So there's the lead-off runners. The changeover zone up the hill here. And you see all these, the milers and the distance athletes just strolling up this hill. It's a bit of a trek to get from the presentation area down there way back up to where you're going to take the sweatband off the other runner. And we didn't quite give the Irish team the introduction they deserved that. It must be Emma Meyer going first, and Kia McPhillips, who was actually fourth in the 800 metres in the World Champs, ahead of Mohamed Atawi. And Laura Nicholson, we mentioned the Irish champion, and Andrew Cosgren as well. So that quartet, very, very strong. But the Portuguese, I just don't know how to call this race. Italy. They've got a wonderful history. They're defending champions. Britain, a strong, strong history of getting on the podium. Spanish, usually on the podium, have brought their strongest squad ever. But can you bet against the Portuguese quartet that have the reigning world champion over 1,500 metres and a double medalist from the European Indoor Championships, Salome Alphonse? We shall see the mixed relay here at the European Cross Country Championships. Next up. So just one male runner here in the first leg. A Turkish athlete. He's going to have a solo running effort here. Mevlut Arash.
Well, this is only the 8th edition, Hannah, of these this mixed relay, and I think for many of these athletes it'll be the first time they've done it. You know, it's an interesting. I suppose you can say, well, look, it's a 1,500-metre race. That's the way you've just got to approach it, like any other race. But isn't it interesting that Turkey have adopted this tactic of having a male on the first leg who will understandably blast away from the women. Not quite sure why he's glancing around. Just get on with it. Keep your head down.
I just think with this leg being the shortest leg, there's no, I mean, unless you think one of your females is going to run faster over 1,500 metres than one of your males, you've got to put a female on this first leg. So it'll be interesting, I think, to have that Turkish team to gauge at. And Havid there, the Danish woman trying to hurdle the barriers, and she just about managed it. And I think it'd be really interesting to see how Patricia Silva goes here. She was an 800-metre specialist through the age group, Silva, and then moved to 1,500 for a bit, back to 800 last year, rewarded with a World Indoor bronze medal. She's there in 4th place out of the female athletes, and Havid pushing at the front here from Bilo, from Maya. And a lot of the big names still involved here. But Arash, this is kind of an artificial lead, I think, at the moment, but this is the beauty of this.
Well, you know what might be an error is that they're playing an ace card here on this first leg, but it's the shortest leg. It's only 1,300 metres this first lap. So, you know, you'd think, well, if we're going to have a man against the woman, it should be on the longest lap. So I'm not sure they're going to get the full advantage from this they might have expected. The order is down to the choice of the team. But this guy, Mevlut Arash, well, he's a 3:39 1,500 metre run. You'd expect him to blast around this circuit, but it does make it a fascinating spectacle, because we're going to see a load of men on the next lap chasing. Oh, they got to the first 2 men, haven't they? They've got men on their first and second legs. No, it is a woman. So on the next lap, Turkey are going to have a woman go out in front, way out in front, but being chased down very quickly by a pack of men.
And it is fascinating. I think maybe if you go to a 4x400 on the track, whether that's mixed or single sex, you might say, let's get ourselves out of trouble. Let's give ourselves clear running. There is an advantage there. But on cross country, I'd say it's a disadvantage to be running on your own as well.
And on the track, they used to let teams choose the order, but now it's compulsory, isn't it? The order. So it's woman, man, woman, man.
Arash going well here at the front. Havid, we saw her skipping over those lumps. She is the Danish steeplechase champion, so you'd expect her to navigate a course like this and the obstacles pretty well. So that is Arash. I think the next athlete we'll see around the corner will be Juliet Havid. There she is, still moving very well here, the Danish athlete, and Maya. The Irish team didn't have a trial for this. Lots of nations, they kind of go down the 1,500 metre rankings from the previous season and pick their 4 fastest, whereas some other nations do a trial. They want to know that someone is fit this week and that they can run on cross country. And I often think you never know how that's going to play out till afterwards. Arash taking the band off his hand, he will hand over to a Turkish teammate. Look at that, the sole female among a sea of males. It'll be a scary few moments here for Celik. Try and judge her effort as well as possible.
Won't this be absolutely fascinating? I think on the second lap it's Tugba Toptaş. It's supposed to be 2024 Balkan champion at 1,500 metres. She's a 4:12 1,500 metre runner, and she's got what? How long a lead on the rest? Probably 20 seconds, something like that. Not as big as he might have expected. The Irish on this second leg with Kian Phillips.
Where are the Italians? Not 7th.
So Turkey leading then. Belgium, Ireland, Denmark, Great Britain, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. And that gap does look huge, but there's an entire lap to be covered yet by the second leg runner for Turkey here. It is Tugba Toptaş. And what is she capable of? Well, I doubt very much she'll be capable of keeping the rest of them at bay. She's run 4:12 for 1,500, 2:03 for 800. She's a PE student at Kafkas University, the 25-year-old. And it's Celik, actually. So they've changed the order from what was originally published. It is Celik, excuse me. You can see the men there, top of picture, hunting her down. Literally gaining ground with every stride.
And there we go as well. There's been a change from what we were told, that the British team have gone for a man on this side. They've gone for Jack Higgins. He's just pulling them up into second place. But I think this is going to be a fascinating battle behind here. And there was a great finish from Belgium and from Ireland. They were powering down the finish straight. Julia Havid was kind of ruling the roost in that chase pack, if you like. And then in the last sort of 200 metres, she brought Ireland and well, Ireland and Belgium overtook Havid into the closing stages. But everyone's got back involved there with that male chase pack. The Italians very much to the fore, but Cian McPhillips, the 800-metre sensation of the summer, shattering Mark English's national record in that final in Tokyo. He looks comfortable here.
He does, yeah. Higgins, the Brit, and they've changed their order. It's just annoying when they change their order at the last minute. Goodness me, I'm not quite sure why they should be allowed that, but here we go. Almost caught now is Çelik, the Turkish female, on this second leg up against the men. It is such a one-sided contest, of course, when you see it like this in clear daylight, this glorious sunshine in Lagoa. And the Italian giving it everything here and looking really strong. And Italy on this second leg, moving into the lead. Higgins up there for Great Britain. And the Italians, well, they were one of the teams who were late to announce their team. Just trying to see, is Parolini, Sebastiano Parolini, one that led off their team last year. Their winning Italian relay team at the European Cross Country last year in Antalya. So they may be getting it right here, the Italians.
Well, Parolini, I think the advantage he has here, the Italian, is a smooth running. We're seeing Senard here as France. He's so experienced in this mixed relay. He's got the squad up into the silver medal position. You were ahead of the likes of Cian McPhillips. We have to see how McPhillips finishes here with that 800-metre speed. Jack Higgins has got a wonderful history of timing a sprint finish to perfection. He took the British indoor title where no one really knew him, kicked down Guy Learmont there. He did the same in the trial, the British trial for this event. So Parolini, while he's given himself the advantage of a clear sight, he's also a target, and Senard is pulling up alongside him. He's bringing Higgins with him. And what's McPhillips going to have in the closing few stages?
Well, Ireland in fourth, those three teams beginning to get away. Belgium in fifth, Senard finishing like an absolute rocket here. Took silver last year, he led off the team. Here he is on the second leg, handing over the wristband, and she was way beyond, and the rest of the athletes maximising the distance that he could run for the sake of 5 metres. But now it is mostly a women's race. Will there be a Turkish man on this leg? I don't know, but it's Italy, France and Great Britain. 1, 2, 3, and gaps beginning to appear. 8:10 the time for Italy after 2 legs.
And there goes Alphonse of Portugal. I think Rodriguez Lima, the second leg athlete for them, had a bit of a rough journey out there in the Portuguese team, the home team, really hoping to get on the podium here, all the way down in 12th place. Marta Zanoni broke 4 minutes for the first time over 400 metres this summer. She was unfortunately disqualified from the semi-finals at the World Championships. And great to see her back in Italian vest, fighting alongside Holly Dixon here, the winner of the British trial. A 4:10 runner, Holly Dixon, at the moment running away from Zanoni, a 3:59 runner. But this is a tough section of the course here, all the way uphill, and Holly Dixon running full of confidence. At the moment, the British and the Italians just dropping the French women, Emily Girard. All to play for here in this third leg in the mixed relay. Holly Dixon really going for it. And in this course, over 1,500 metres, Tim, I would say work very, very hard all the way to the top corner, and then just back yourself. Back yourself, you can find your legs on the downhill. Because if you don't try and drop people on this uphill section, you haven't got much time to kind of remedy that on the downhill part.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. Is that a problem that changed? Oh, and a faller there. The Irish had a faller.
Lauren Nicholson right at the start of her leg. I was wondering how they'd ended up so far back. That's such a shame for the Irish team. They've got Coscoran on the anchor leg. So if Lauren Nicholson, the Irish 1,500 metre champion there in 5th place, if she can do anything to keep Coscoran kind of in touch with that medal zone, they could still have a chance here, buoyed by that double gold individually by Nick Griggs and the under-23 men.
Well, Holly Dixon having a really good run here, dragging the Italian with her by the looks of things. Here's some of the chasing teams: Denmark, Portugal, host nation, Germany as well, and then Ukraine having their own separate little battle.
And Dixon, for me, just cornering slightly better on this course here in Lagoa. You can see Zanoni fighting those corners. She's a much better athlete on paper with that 3:59, so it might not matter if the corners take something out of her. And there goes Zanoni. Loves to run aggressively. She loves to front run on the track. Perhaps didn't like playing second fiddle to Holly Dixon here at the European Championships. Zanoni was a key part of that gold medal winning squad in Antalya last year. Another great run so far.
But you have to say, Zanoni, head and shoulders above Dixon on paper. She's run under 4 minutes for 1,500 metres. Dixon, as you said, Hannah, quite rightly, is a 4:10, 1,500 metre run. What she needs to now is hang on to the coattails of Zanoni, the Italian, and get dragged away from the rest. Try and use the Italian to get pulled away.
Great running from Girard to keep the French in third there. Vilo running well for Belgium, and Laura Nicholson after that fall, she's holding her position, still giving Andrew Koskinen something to fight for in this final lap. But Alphonse of Portugal is on the absolute charge. She has come flying through this field, and they've got Isaac Nada on the closing leg. Alphonse and Nada won the team championships here with their club at the Portuguese National Championships. They know the way around the course. Zanoni will hand over to the previous Italian record holder, Petra Arisi.
She's really digging in, isn't she, Zanoni? She's working hard, trying to maximise that. She could build up a winning lead here. Dixon working so hard to go with her. That gap is, what, about 20 metres, maybe a little bit more at the moment, with France in third through Girard, Bilo of Belgium in fourth. But Zanoni's run a brilliant leg.
She really has. She let Dixon do the work up the hill and pulled the pair of them away from Girard. And Dixon now, you can see slightly wobbly legs perhaps off that section there. Dixon gave it everything up the hill. And she's hopefully going to hold on to a second position. There goes Alphonse. But, the undertake for the Portuguese team. But Italy, the reigning champions, they take the sweatband first. From Britain, Callum Elson on the anchor leg for the British team. And the French holding on to bronze just ahead of Belgium. And there goes Isaac Nada, the reigning world champion over 1,500. Can he get a medal for the host nation this afternoon?
Well, Nada, surprise champion for many in Tokyo over 1,500 metres as he dipped for gold ahead of Jake Whiteman at those World Championships just a few weeks back. But it is Italy and Great Britain out in front. France and Belgium a couple of seconds back. Portugal changed over in 7th place. And Nada, so much expectation on him here, with Ireland right behind him in 4th place. I said in 4th place, in 6th place, excuse me. They were just a couple of seconds back at the turnover. But Italy with Arisi, and Arisi very experienced. He's a smart racer. He will know there's some big names behind him. Broke the Italian record. He ran 3:30 for 8th at the Olympic Games last year, they say. He's got a smart racing head on his shoulders. And he's done 2 or 3 cross-country races recently to build up that strength for this challenging circuit. And he's got to save something here. I get the feeling, Hannah, that what he's got to do is really judge this carefully so that he's got something for that last 400-500 metres.
I feel that as well. I think Arisi, if he can just relax here and then just absolutely drop the hammer off the top of the hill, he should be all right. Nada is on the charge. Look at him skipping over those lumps and bumps. And I think Elson's got a tough job here, the Brit. He will want to run it like Arisi. He will want to run conservatively and then not be vulnerable in the closing stages. But the Brit is such a target at the moment for the French, for the Belgians, and for Nada. Look, Nada is going to get him in a medal position before he's even reached halfway through the lap.
Do you know what? It really helps in this sort of situation to have somebody 5 or 10 metres ahead of you, no more. If the gap's 30 or 40 metres, like Callum Elson is having to face here, then it makes it very tough because you haven't got a sort of psychological, visual target as well. Look at that. That's the gap between Elson, who's in 2nd, then coming through in 3rd place are the French. Nada's got the Portuguese, the home nation, up into 4th place. And I wonder if Arisi can hold them all at bay. Nada on a charge. Massive pride, of course, powering those legs for the world champion from the home nation. Home advantage for him. Is that worth a few metres? Callum Elson, who's a 3:53 miler indoors. Great racer, 3:35, who ran a couple of years ago, 1,500 metres. And Nada now moving up towards the medal positions, attacking all the time. He's up into fourth. Aresi of Italy leads. Elson of Great Britain in second. He's under pressure. A little glance over his shoulder. The Gouillet of France in third. And then Nada in fourth here. And Nada hunting them down. And how much money would he put against Nada getting up there to at least the silver medal position?
This is so tough. Nada, the effort he put up the hill was absolutely astronomical. And when you pull up alongside people and they have something that is so soul destroying, you want to fly past people. But Nada got on the shoulder of the Frenchman. He responded. But now Nada glides past Callum Elson. There's no way he can catch Aresi. Surely Nada checks over his shoulder. He's got to absolutely go for it here. The Portuguese athlete is flying down the back straight.
But Aresi, I think, has an unclosable lead. Nada has worked miracles. Took over in what, sixth place, has moved through to second. A battle royal between the French and the British for the bronze medal. Italy haven't yet got a medal today. This will be their first of the day in the fifth race. We've had the age group races. This the relay. This the team one that they will all celebrate, perhaps a little bit more. But Aresi storming away here, and surely Pietro Aresi is not to be caught. Nada is going to give Portugal a medal. That'll be precious too. But Pietro Aresi, his coach Silvano Danzi on the sidelines roaring him home, and it's a comfortable victory for the Italians. Gold for them in the mixed relay. And look at this, Nada taking second, almost caught. Brilliant running there from Callum Elson in the closing stages to take the bronze for Great Britain. Wow.
I cannot wait to see the split on that leg for Isak Nada. You know, it's not a traditional distance, and here comes Mohamed Attawi. I think don't know what went wrong for the Spaniards. We expected them to be right out there involved, but that leg from Nada, you don't fluke a World Championships. You do not. He was an unexpected winner, but a deserved winner, and that run there shows he's wintering well, and he's going to be very, very excited as he looks towards the next 12 months. And the Italians, they were favourites perhaps as defending champions coming into this, and they very much got the job done.
Italy, Portugal, Great Britain, 1, 2, 3 then. The Portuguese almost caught by Callum Elson on that final leg. What a run from him to finish 1 second ahead of the French, who finished in fourth place. And then Belgium were only another 3 seconds back. Ireland a second back from them. There it is. Italy are the champions. They have a medal, and it's the best colour of all in the mixed relay here today. Their first of the day from all the different races we've seen. 5 down, 2 to come. The senior races, women first and then men. And there's that Portuguese squad, so proud of their silver medals. Well, Isak Nada was their secret weapon. Here is that closing form of Pietro Aresi. We knew he'd be tough to catch, and indeed he was 1 place ahead of just 1 spot too good for Nada. 4:16 for Nada, Aresi 4:25. Goodness me, he was 9 seconds quicker, Nada, than Aresi, but the gap between him and the Italian when they took over for that final leg, just too big to close. It was a pretty comfortable victory for Italy at the end, 4 seconds, and then it was a 1 second gap between Portugal in silver and Great Britain in bronze, and a further 1 second from Great Britain back to France between third and fourth. And only 3 seconds. Indeed, the gaps, when you think it was a 4-lap race, the gaps are tiny. Ireland only 10 seconds in sixth place, only 10 seconds down on the winners, Italy. Confirmation then of gold for Italy ahead of Portugal and Great Britain. France, Belgium and Ireland, the usual suspects up there in the top half dozen places. As Hannah said, not sure what happened to the Spanish. Don't know if they had a faller or what, but they were down in 7th place there with a squad that many expected to be up amongst the medals, certainly challenging more closely for the medals.
Hi, I'm Nadia Batogritti. Sign up now to the European Athletics YouTube channel.